Pot went and bathed the blue ox. Paul Bunyan was a giant lumberjack. He stood 16 axe-handed right gift to take a handle. When Jack shouted timber, the swing his axe 100 trees would fall. Black in Pot's day, American was going fast, and people need wood to build houses. Farmers needed wild land clear so they could grow crops. Pot showed an early talent for knocking down trees. A baby, he rolled over in his sleep one night and knocked down a mile of forest. He always knew he'd be a lumberjack, and soon it was time to follow his dream. "I'm off to rough the North Woods," he told his parents. "Good luck, son," they said. "Watch where you step." Pot got a job at a logging camp. Chopping down trees was easy, but he wished he had someone to help him haul the logs to the river. Then came the winter of the blue snow. Beautiful blue snow fell for days. Pot came across a snowdrift as big as a house, with 2 hairs, blue ears sticking out of it. "Moo!" It's soft below. Pot lift those ears, and out came a sticky baby ox. "Dad has been stuck in the snow." The ox was blue all over the coat. Pot brought the ox back to camp and carried him all night. In the morning, the ox was feeling better, but he stayed blue. He licked Pot on the neck. Pot laughed. "I call you Buff," he said. They went off to Migger when Pot set up his own logging camp. Barry grew like crazy and soon was so big that Ford could hardly see him end to end. None of the local water holes were big enough for Buck to drink from. Pot solved the problem by using his axe to dig the Great Lakes. Pot logging camping was filled with hundreds of lumberjacks. They were a hungry bunch, and their favorite food was pancake. More pancakes, they called, but the cook couldn't make enough. Soon, though, Sam, the chef cook, feared that the men would with it. They didn't get more pancake. "Don't worry, Sam. I will solve this," Pot said. Pot sat and thought about the problem for a while. day, he and Bob disappeared. About a week later, Bob returned to camp building a enormous drinker. That drinker was a mile wide if it was an inch. Paul has it built in the big city. Then Sam saw the drinker. His eye nearly popped out of his head. "Now we're cooking," he cried. Paul ordered a fire building under the grinch. Paul, eager to help, drank all the water out of the lake. The cooking used the empty lake bed as a bowl to mix the batter in. Men swapped of bacon onto their boots and shake around on the grinder. When it was all greased up, the cook poured their batter. Soon half a million pancakes were building on the grinder. There was even a pipeline of syrups going straight to the table. The lumberjacks were feeling happily, and no one even questioned Paul's camp. Those pancakes was too good. When the logging was done in one spot, Paul simply lifted the camp onto wheels. The barge pulled into a new place. One time, they set down their camp next to a twist river in Lincoln. That river was so cooky that the jambalaya floating down would be empty in an awful jam. For weeks at a time, the sawmill rolled down river. Were waiting for logs that never came. Paul sat picking his teeth with a pine tree while he thought about the problem. Paul has his blacksmith forgot a giant chain. He hooks one end of the chain to bird harness and the other end to a test in the river. "Pull, Beck," he commanded, and Beck pulled. Sweet pull of Beck, but the river wouldn't budge. "Harder," Paul said. Beck grumbled and pulled harder. The muscles on his neck stood up like tree roots. His legs dug in the earth, and his belly nearly touched the ground. But that old river was as cool as ever. Then Paul saw behind in the river, gave a shiver. "It works," he cried. Beck let out a way to Crimson. He gave a mighty tug. calling the river to snap like a whisk. Then, with a crash, it lay straight at the flagpole. Everyone cheered. Paul stuck out his chest with pride so much that his button popped off his shirt. Paul and Babe went on to do many more great things. They were last seen working in the vineyards of Alaska. Folks up there say they still sometimes heard a mighty voice in the woods calling out timber, followed by a rubber moon.